Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and Sunday morning, just thought I'd walk around. It's still winter, it's March 3rd, and it's a beautiful day. Taking the rest of the day just to hang out with the dudes and with Jen. So I thought I would shoot a video. So, you know, this has been quite an adventure here. We moved to this land, this spot up in the Pacific Northwest back in July, I believe, of 2014. And by the fall, we were starting to sleep right out there on the lawn. But it was too rainy. And so, here's Baden's shoes. It was too rainy. So, so then we decided, oh, you know what? Let's sleep under the carport. And it's because our house, we didn't realize was really toxic. So we were scrambling to fix it, and later Jen's dad, who we call Pop-Pop, came and helped us fix a ton of this house, and we threw out a ton of stuff and rebuilt a lot of it, and spent a lot of money, $100,000, more than that really, and a year or more of sleeping outside. We started off sleeping outside here, and then for a while we tried sleeping in the garage, which was kind of good because we put a heat pump in and it was warmer. But not very many windows. One window in that office there. But we didn't like the way it felt. Turns out I think it was just lots of formaldehyde and it was a very closed building. So we didn't like it there. So then we came over here and we went and slept here. This was our home for about a year. I'll show you. There's where we live now. So we couldn't live in that house. I remember one time I went, my job was to take Ben, and we'd drive around, we'd stay in Bellingham, and then Jen would work on fixing up this place. I remember once I looked right in there, and it was late at night, about 10 o'clock at night, and Ben and I had been out just to stay away from the house for the whole day, and we were sleeping right here actually, in a tent, and I saw Jen totally covered up in dust. She had a respirator on, and she was redoing. She had pulled off all the carpet, all this really toxic carpet, and then taken it down to the baseboard, the base layer of the flooring, the subflooring, I guess is what you call it, particle board, and had sanded that whole thing, and there was dust everywhere. And she was then going to we sealed it with like 5 different seals and put paint on it. It's a very eco-friendly paint. We redid the baseboards with Pop-Pop. We sealed the house. We got a great company, Barron's, to install all these systems. This was part of it. We got a big tube for where air would come in from the forest. There's the forest. And then we had systems set up where only good air could come in, and the house, we had redone all this woodworking and all this flooring and all sorts of stuff, fixed up stuff that had mold in it, cleared all that out, rebuilt whole sections, and made it really, really, really good. And in a year, then we got to move in. So then we got to sleep in our house. And that's what we've been up to now. So, you know, as I thought about it this morning, I thought, there's so much that we don't know, you know, and so many things that looking back, go, oh man, that was actually a miracle. You know, when I got sick and I couldn't run for almost 2 years, and finally figured it out, it was fluoride being put in the water and how toxic it really is. And then I found the remedy. My good friend Ben from San Diego found an old remedy, and from Australia actually, old time osteopath had it, and so I got myself back to running. And what's interesting is I've always wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest, and that whole thing, the fluoride, getting hurt, getting well, and deciding to move to a place that doesn't have fluoride, we have well water here, was a miracle. I don't think I would have ever left San Diego, even though I really wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest. And so that was a miracle. And now there's a whole nother thing going on. If you've been following me, you know that there's a lot of stuff about the vaccines, and we want to stop mandatory vaccines, and what the drug companies are doing is really beyond awful. It's a crime against humanity, and they want to force vaccinate. And we're looking like, okay, we're fighting the good fight. We're working with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Del Bigtree and trying to get the word out so that people have a choice, and we don't do that. But more importantly, too, so that everybody, if they vaccinate or not, if they vaccinate, they have safe vaccines, because right now they're made by companies that you can't sue, and they're definitely not doing the right thing. So you could think that's a disaster, what's happening right now. That's what we think. But yesterday I was thinking about it, and I thought, you know what? This is like another miracle, because we've always wanted to move back to Bellingham since we got up here. We're out here, out in the country, but we want to move to a certain part of Bellingham, and right next to the Chuckanut Mountains and the trails over there. It's beautiful. It's paradise for us. And we've also wanted to live by English Bay and Kitsilano in Vancouver. And so it's like, who knows where we're supposed to go next, right? And who knows the miracle that's going to get us there? And maybe this whole vaccine issue is part of our miracle, and maybe we get this solved out and people have safe vaccines and they have a choice, and children's lives are saved, and maybe we get to move to a different part of the country, or maybe the world, maybe Spain. And so we're looking at it like, okay, we don't know what's next, but we do know, looking back, how amazing it's been. How amazing it's been to notice how we left San Diego, we moved to the Pacific Northwest. We have really good friends up here, really good people hanging around with us. We've developed a whole different and bigger business and impact and reach with our work. And so that wouldn't have happened if I would have just stayed comfortable in San Diego and kept my physical therapy, integrative manual therapy practice, helping a few people every month. Now we can help people worldwide on a bigger and bigger level. And we've uncovered some stuff that has been hurting babies for a long, long time, the past 30 years. And it's coming to light, and maybe we'll make the world a better place. Hopefully God's on our side, you know? And so all this stuff, I think, has been miracles. And I'd love to hear what's going on for you guys. What obstacles have you been dealing with? What things that just look awful that maybe have some miracles in there if you look down the road and then looking back. So let me know, comment below, and I will see you all next time. All right, bye for now. GoPro, stop recording.